Brock Lesnar, the king of the ring, has a chance to take down Rob Van Dam and capture the Intercontinental Championship. If Brock Lesnar is to win her tonight, it would be his first championship since coming up to the main roster. Brock Lesnar, one of the most impressive prospects I have ever witnessed in WWE. Van Dam's got quite a few years ahead of Lesnar under his belt in this sport. Van Dam's got quickness. He's got skill. Up and over. Van Dam knows how to get extreme. Very agile and resilient is Van Dam. If there's anybody who knows just what Rob Van Dam is capable of, it's Brock Lesnar's advocate, Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, who ran ECW. Rob Van Dam, one of ECW's top stars, was, now that it is defunct, that being. So if there's anyone who has advice on how to find the weaknesses of Rob Van Dam, Paul Heyman's got the keys in his pocket. Van Dam tries to sweep the legs of Lesnar. A lot of power comes from the legs. That's where the power comes from. The quads, the biggest muscle in the body. Van Dam getting picked up and just launched forward by Brock Lesnar. Van Dam gets sent into the ropes by Lesnar, but Van Dam ducked. That's the veteran instinct. So Van Dam over Brock Lesnar. Up and over. Went for a cross body, but Lesnar's power catching Van Dam in midair. Van Dam with a moonsault off the apron. Oh! And a driving power slam onto the floor by Brock Lesnar leaves Paul Heyman laughing maniacally. As Lesnar gets Van Dam back in the ring. Let's get another look at this moonsault. Lesnar caught Van Dam in midair, then just driving full force into the floor. Brock Lesnar finds himself in control. Oh, and a gut buster. That's going to do a lot of damage to the midsection of the Intercontinental Champion. Shot to the back. And again, just driving the fist into the back. Brock Lesnar has made quite the impact since making his debut in WWE. Quick to become King of the Ring, and he could very well be quick to become the Intercontinental Champion, a title that's been held by some of the all-time greats. The likes of Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, of course, the first ever, the inaugural Intercontinental Champion, Pat Patterson, Bret Hart. So many greats have held the Intercontinental Championship, and Brock Lesnar could very well be on his way to adding himself to that list. An unstoppable force since his arrival. However, Van Dam still fighting. Van Dam back up, bringing the offense to Brock Lesnar. There's a different mentality you go into a big match when you are entering as the champion. Willing to go the distance, willing to do what it takes. Went for moonsault, laying on his feet, realizing Brock Lesnar got out of the way. Oh! Van Dam just got pushed up and over and just dumped onto the floor by Lesnar. Lesnar yelling at referee Charles Robinson to get out of the way as Lesnar wants to get his hands on RVD on the floor. Heyman arguing with the referee as Lesnar drives Van Dam spine first into the apron. Right into the steps, just thrown like a rag doll. Rob Van Dam having a hard time right now as Brock Lesnar is maintaining dominance. Brock Lesnar squeezing the life out of Van Dam. All the strength of Lesnar, his grip around the midsection of Van Dam, but Van Dam with these elbows. Only for Lesnar to just drive Van Dam in the corner. And again, going after Van Dam. And an abdominal stretch. This is going to put some pressure. This is going to put a lot of pressure on the midsection. Brock Lesnar with blows of the midsection for even more added pressure. There's no matter what, there's no difference to Lesnar whether he wins or loses this match. I mean, of course, whether or not he becomes the Intercontinental Champion. But in regards to his position come SummerSlam, he will be in the main event. He will challenge for the big title, for the WWE Championship, whoever that may be against. Van Dam. And drops down to take down Lesnar's Van Dam up and over. Van Dam with a guillotine leg drop out on the apron. Van Dam, one of the most unique styles. And off the top, dropping a single leg side kick that knocked back Lesnar. Can you hear it? Can you feel it? Lesnar certainly did. Rolling Thunder, but will it be enough? As Lesnar kicks out at 2.5. What a super kick. Catches money on Brock Lesnar. Van Dam going high. Van Dam was thinking the frog splash. Lesnar, F5, but gets countered. Van Dam countered Brock Lesnar. And Paul Heyman is beside himself. Rob Van Dam is countered. Take your shot. There it is. It's gotta be it. 5-star frog splash. And still. But Paul Heyman just pulled the referee out. And Charles Robinson calling for the bell. Heyman is furious. And Van Dam with a baseball slide. Wait, what's going on? Charles Robinson just hammering away. What in the world just happened? I have never seen that. Charles Robinson. Van Dam off the top, taking out Lesnar, who came to the aid of his advocate. Van Dam went high risk to take out Lesnar, with it ending in disqualification. Rob Van Dam still leads as the Intercontinental Champion. I don't think that's the worry for Van Dam as he looks to send a message to Brock Lesnar. Van Dam's got a chair. Van Dam. He's going to go coast to coast. Heyman grabs onto the ankle of Van Dam to hold back Van Dam. Lesnar's already back up to his feet. And a fisherman suplex. Rob Van Dam just getting driven by Brock Lesnar. And it seemed like the back of the head of Van Dam hit the steel chair. Lesnar already lost this match. Now what? No! No! And an F5 on the steel chair! Brock Lesnar's absolutely lost it. Van Dam's been laid out by Brock Lesnar. The next big thing lays out Van Dam.